So we're live on SU Learning now, so I want to welcome everybody who's joining us and thank the program directors for their time in this presentation. We have the program directors here, and we're going to have them answer questions that were submitted by some of our students in the college studies class. Myself, my name is Jim Ramos. I'm one of the associate deans here at Southwest University. So I'll be asking these questions and they'll kind of go through and take turns answering the questions. So we're excited to speak with them and get their insights and get their answers to these questions. So I'll start by asking them each to introduce themselves one by one.
Hi everyone, my name is Jose Nakid. I'm the College of Business Director. I've been here for the last 3 years and a half for both associates and bachelor's programs.
And I am Laura Lazarin. I am the Program Director for Health Administration and Medical Coding and Billing, both associates and the Bachelor's of Health Administration.
Hello, my name is Jorge Fernandez, and I'm the Evening Director here at Southwest University, where now the other directors leave by the evening. I still stay here until closing time. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aurora Ruiz, and I'm the Medical Laboratory Technician Program Director. It's an associate's degree.
Hi, my name is Manny Mayorga. I'm the Program Director for the Web and Mobile Marketing Development Program, as well as the Computer Information Technology Systems Program. And I've been here for 5 years, 3 years as an instructor and about 1.5 years, almost 2 years as a Program Director.
Hello, my name is Ruben Rodriguez, and I am the Program Director for Medical Assisting, and I've been here for, I believe it's about 9 years. Thank you.
All right, so I think that was everybody, our wonderful program directors. Then at the end, we'll have them just give their names again and provide their preferred method of contact in case you want to contact them to ask them additional questions. But we'll just jump in to these questions. And so the first question was submitted by Ms. Azalia Ruiz, who's in the Associates Business Management program. And so she asks, what do you enjoy about your job?
I can go. I love everything about my job. I love the fact that we get to help students achieve their career goals. I love that every day it's a different task and duty for us. I love that the university continues to grow. Our mission, it stays the same, but again, we're learning every single day. And at the end of it all, we get to work with amazing people. We get to work with amazing students, help them achieve their goals, and just provide the service and advice that we can, ultimately to get them to their dream job.
So I can go next. What I like about my job is being able to work with students and watching my students become successful. And I've seen that both on the instructor side and also on the program director side. I've taught classes, I've mentored students through their programs, and I've also, as a program director, I've been able to guide students to their career success. So it's been really awesome to see. I mean, that's really what we're here for, is to help you guys become successful. So that's what we're focused on, and that's what we enjoy about this job.
I can go too, if you don't mind. What I really truly love about this job is the culture that we have here at Southwest University. It's truly amazing that we get to talk to every individual, and with our open door policy, everyone that comes here, it's welcome, and we're here just to pretty much help everyone that needs anything. So I love the people that we get to work with, and I love helping students throughout their success.
So as our previous directors mentioned, this is a great working environment, a great culture. We have a great team. I love working with all of you. And also taking care of the students, being in contact with students, helping them out. is also a really great feeling. So yes, I love working here.
I have the opportunity to be an instructor and also a director at the same time. And I really enjoy both positions. Um, Definitely the environment here in Southwest University, it's very welcoming. All the directors give me that feeling of good fit. They welcome me, they help me through the whole, initiation progress or process. So I really, really enjoy working with them.
And I'll go ahead and take the next, or I'll go ahead and say next. I really enjoy, like everybody said, the environment, the culture, helping students and watching them grow. I can specifically say that when students are out there in the clinic, and I see them, doing their job and growing as individuals and furthering their education, that's what makes me happy. So seeing people come in to Southwest University and come out as healthcare professionals or business professionals or IT professionals is an amazing thing.
Awesome, and I can say, at least from my part, it's an amazing experience getting to work with these wonderful individuals and seeing the support they provide for not just the students but their faculty and the staff and the university as a whole. The next question we have is submitted by Ms. Priscilla Macias from the Associates HA program, Associates Health Administration, and she asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
And so that, if that's okay with you guys, it's one of those questions that we really don't know, or we never expected, or at least I never expected to be here 5 years ago, right? It was an opportunity that we were able to obtain. So I guess what I can actually say is in 5 years, I hope to continue growing, whether that's personally, also professionally, just making sure that everything that we do is a continuation of a progress and a process that we are in, that we continue developing ourselves and that we continue to be successful amongst everything else. Hopefully in 5 years, we continue to be happy, and that's all we can ask for. But throughout that development in ourselves and also in our programs as well.
I'm probably going to piggyback on Mr. Nakid's comments as well. Is yes, I mean, there are certain uncertainties in life, and we can just hope to be happy and hope to be still helping students and still being that guiding light, and for them to guide us as well. So just to be happy, just to be humbled by the experience that we're able to have here, and just to continue to do great things and have a great team. Thank you.
So I can chime in next on that one, and kind of echoing some of the sentiments from the previous other answers. It's kind of hard to know where you will be in 5 years. I think most of us 5 years ago had no idea that we would be in our current positions, and it's really hard to say where we will be in another 5 years. But the best thing you can do is just keep putting your best foot forward. Don't say no to opportunities, and just keep growing. Never stay in or don't get into a stagnant mindset where you say, you know what, this is it, I'm done. I'm not going to learn anymore. I'm not going to grow anymore. So I think in 5 years, I hope that I still have that mindset of wanting to continue to grow and improve.
Yes, like Mr. Mayorga mentioned, in a position where it's better than or as the same that we have right now, and on a healthcare related awesome environment like the ones we have now, or even better. So as long as it's a cool environment like the ones we have right now, that would be great.
And again, to echo what everyone else has said, just one thing, I want to make sure that even though we don't know where we're going to be in 5 years, one thing I know for sure is that I still want to be with Southwest University, working with these wonderful people, impacting and changing students' lives. So ultimately, as long as we are down that path of growth, I still want to be sure that I'm part of this wonderful university.
All right, so let's go on to the next question. And I think the program directors offered some great responses where it's tough to know where you're going to be, but as long as you're committed to growing and improving, then that's the best that you can really hope for. So I hope a lot of the students take that lead from our program directors. The next question we have is submitted by Miss Anna French, who's also Associates Health Administration. And so she asks, what goals do you want to accomplish in your work?
So I can go ahead and take that one. So the goals that we want to accomplish is to continue to create, a positive learning environment for all of our students, but also, have more resources, have more equipment, and then also change the face of the university in a sense where, even though it is welcoming, we'll want to make it more welcoming. We want to make it more of a different feels that everybody wants to be here and so on and so forth. So continue to work on that and continue to expand as we go along. So it's really, bringing a more of a university feel. And then on top of that, providing resources, equipment, and just everything, and keeping up to date with everything in the medical field, so our students can continue to grow and we can continue to grow with them. So that would probably be my biggest goals right now.
Well, I hope I'm not monopolizing the time too much, but I kind of wanted to answer this one too. And so my goal, at least my main work goal, is pretty simple. I hope that in the future I know, or I have a huge network of IT professionals that I know personally, because I helped put them there. So in other words, I want my students to be successful, to build that network of IT professionals. And I want to be able to say, you know what, I know somebody that works at Intel, at HP, at Apple. That's kind of my goal. And everything else that I do flows from that. Improving curriculum, building connections to the IT industry. I feel like everything flows from that desire to put people into the industry and just build that network of IT professionals. That's kind of how I see myself, or I guess my overall goals.
My goal is to help every student that I encounter, help them succeed, help them fulfill their goals, and also trying my best at whatever I do. So that's it.
As part of the MLT program, I would like for this program to be top 1. We have a lot of competition from other schools, so I want to make sure that my students, they do their best, they represent the school, they represent themselves out there, and the actual reputation of the program gets higher and higher.
For me, I guess it's also continue providing current business best practices in our instruction. Also, I want to help 100% of our students into their educational and professional development, make sure that every single one of our students has a job in the field once they graduate, and also making sure that if that's not the case, then they continue their education otherwise.
Alrighty, so we'll move on to the next question. So thank you guys for your answers, and again, it's very heartening to see that you guys have such great goals for your programs, for your students, and it's a lot of stuff that it's very promising, and the potential's there, and a lot of good stuff to look forward to. The next question was submitted by Ms. Jackie Cabrera. She's in the Bachelor's Business Management program. And so she asks, did you expect to go in a different direction before this job?
I can go ahead and take that one. There were many avenues that I wanted to take. I was an accounting major, then I was a finance major, and then I ended up being a marketing major. And in that, when I finished, I wanted to work for Procter & Gamble. And then I wanted to be a pharmaceutical rep. I mean, there's so many things and avenues that I was headed down. But ultimately, what we always tell our students, and kind of something that I pride myself on, is that I didn't say no to opportunity. And I had an opportunity to come teach for Southwest University in 2010. Although I had never taught in my life, I never imagined myself in education. I said, yes, why not? I took the opportunity, fell in love with the career, didn't know that I would fall in love with it. And with that and doing well at this job, I got another opportunity to work for a medical clinic, and not just one medical clinic, 7. And not just to work for 7 clinics, but to manage the 7 clinics. How am I going to do that? I have no healthcare experience. My undergrad is in business, it's in marketing, but again, I said yes. I didn't say no to opportunity, and I had to learn. I had to put myself and work hard, to dedicate myself to work hard and get the experience that I needed to master that position. And although, we all still learn and grow as we go, but I can definitely say that I'm proud to have put my 100% effort into that position, because then it led me back into this job, which is a program director for health administration and medical coding and billing. I wouldn't have this opportunity to come back to this wonderful university that I keep telling you that I love, had I not said yes to managing these clinics. Again, program director, how am I going to do that? So, again, taking that opportunity and trusting yourself and knowing that this door opened for me for a reason. And so I am forever grateful that I took it, because now I am definitely in my dream job, and I wouldn't have known it was my dream job had I not taken that opportunity.
So I can go next. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I worked in healthcare also for 8 years. I worked in a clinical lab setting. And at that time, I was kind of enamored with the idea of going to medical school. I had started studying for the MCAT. I was getting, mentally prepared to go through the rigor of basically another decade of school. But I ended up not following that path. And there's a lot of reasons why. And I'm kind of glad that I ended up in this path instead, because I feel like I learned a lot more that I wouldn't have learned going down that path. I mean, obviously each path has its own set of learnings, but the learnings that I've gotten from this setting, I think, are unique. So my overall career is kind of a mix of different things. I have IT, I have medical, I have administration, education. Kind of feel like I've been all over the place with my career. So I kind of like that about my career.
As far as me, I was gonna go ahead and say that I started in research actually when I graduated, and I did research all throughout undergrad. It just different types of research, behavioral, and then some bench work and so on and so forth. But I promised myself I would never do research again after I graduated, and then I ended up in research again. I worked for Texas Tech, and although that was definitely rewarding and a very good and satisfying job, what ended up happening is I got the opportunity to teach here at Southwest University, and just like many of my colleagues, I fell in love with teaching. I fell in love with everything that Southwest University has to offer, but more importantly, our students and helping our students and becoming a part of their lives and just influencing their lives. So I went ahead and did that for 3 years. Then I had the opportunity to become the program director here for medical assisting, and it's been wonderful ever since. So it's one of those things that, again, don't miss out on the opportunity. Don't to say yes to opportunities, say yes to to whatever comes your way. I didn't know that I was I'm not gonna say I was good at teaching, because that's I think that's tooting my own horn, but I didn't know that I was gonna be good at this job, or I didn't know that I was gonna do so well and enjoy it so much at the end of the day. So that's what it is. So thank you so much, and yes, that's my story. Thank you.
I used to practice as a physician in Mexico, and then I went to practice here in the United States. While I was doing that, I got offered a position as an instructor, and I loved it. It was great. And then I saw the growth here at the university, and my personal growth, the university's growth, and I loved it also. And it's great working here.
In my case, I've actually been in business my whole life, whether it was retail, whether it was sales, whether it was banking or nonprofit organizations. I think all of those helped me to be prepared for this opportunity. But at the end of the day, even though I've never thought I was going to be here specifically, I've always liked to help people and to service others. So I knew that I was going to end up helping somewhere. I didn't know I was going to love so much being in a situation like this one, but I definitely knew that I was going to continue helping other people. Now I get to have the opportunity of helping students grow and see their success. So it's very, very gratifying.
All right, thank you guys for your answers so much, and I think I agree a lot with what your program directors are saying, where these opportunities will present themselves, so it's important to take those opportunities as they come along, and I think a lot of them kind of live by the idea that it's important to have plans, but the best plans are the ones that can be changed. So you might have a vision, but if something else comes along down the line, it's okay to change those plans around. All right, so for the next question, this was submitted also by Ms. Anna French in the Associate's Health Administration program. And she asks, what satisfaction do you get working with students?
I'm gonna take that one. Honestly, it's a huge satisfaction. It's unbelievable how you feel, especially when you go to the hospitals, because my area, it's the hospital, the laboratories at the hospitals, and you go in and you see them, they're working, they're happy, they actually fulfill their dream. The satisfaction is huge. And then sometimes when they call you and they say, thank you, Ms. Reese, because I have this and I have a nice job, and then I'm getting a better life. It's just something that I can't describe. It's a lot. It's a lot for me, and I'm very, very happy to, be a little part on their life, on their success. Planting the seed. It's enormous.
I know that sounds very corny, but I like to say that the student's success is our success, and that definitely is true. Not only because it's literally my job, but every time that we get to see the students graduate, especially when this past Sunday, where I get to see some of those students that came to us, to me specifically, and maybe they were struggling for whatever reason, and they had so many difficulties in their life, whether it was personal, professional. They came to me, and being able to see them walk in that stand, in that graduation, that was really satisfying. And every time that we get to do that, it just gives me a bigger smile to see those students be successful. So to me, when I see them start to finish, and I just get to see them so excited about their accomplishments, that's really the satisfaction that I get from working with our students.
So for me, there's three things that are satisfying. The first one is when students pass their certifications, because I know that that's going to give them a better opportunity to have, a job and be able to place in a work environment. So that's one, the certifications, and then two, it's watching them grow. From the beginning that they're here. We have them in the MA program for about 12 months. Students will shape their character, they'll shape their study habits, but more importantly, they become better people and people that are going to serve their community. And to see that change within them, that's amazing. And then three, of course, to see them graduate. So that's an amazing thing, to see the joy in their eyes, the happiness with their family. And that's just so vivid right now in our minds and in our hearts, because it just happened Sunday. So, those three things are amazing to me. And I think they keep us going and are extremely rewarding.
So I want to just kind of echo the same sentiments as the other answers that were given. That's really the whole point of our job, is to help the students. If that was something that we didn't get joy out of, then we wouldn't really last in these positions. So in my case, a big part of what I focus on is trying to find opportunities for the students, in particular with internships or projects that they can use to, beef up their resume, which is on top of the coursework that they're doing. Just spending my time finding those opportunities and then passing them on to the students, and then seeing the students become successful because of those opportunities is awesome. For example, we recently started an internship with this academy on Fort Bliss, and we had a student do an internship, and he was able to land an awesome job afterwards because of the internship. It's those kinds of things that make everything that we do worthwhile. We put in all this work, all this effort to create these opportunities, and then to watch them pay off is amazing. And I feel like that's kind of the gist of what we enjoy about working with the students. It's really the core of what we do.
So yes, it's really fulfilling working around students. You feel their energy, they give you that energy, and then you see them succeed. So that's really nice. And you can also relate to them because we were students also. So we know what they're going through. So it's really nice.
And one last thing that I want to add about, what satisfaction we get with working with students is oftentimes students don't realize how much they teach us. And so, yes, they do come to us for guidance and help, and, but the more and more I'm in my position, the more I've always believed to be a compassionate individual, but it really opens up my eyes to a world that's out there. And so I want to say thank you to those students who have taught me what I know today, and to make me a better program director. And then also too, it's awesome to see some of our students, and I can speak for my program specifically, is that we have 4 of our former graduates of Southwest University alumni who are currently our instructors. So that in itself is a big wow and satisfaction to see, the type of product we produce, and to actually see them come back and teach for us, and then be our top tier instructors. That's extremely rewarding and satisfying.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for those great answers. And to kind of follow on what Ms. Lazarin said, Ms. Romy Rincon is one of those students that she's mentioned, and she actually did one of these first SU Teaches SU presentations. So if you get a chance, you should go back and check that, because it was a very great presentation that she gave. We have the next question. This is a second question submitted by Ms. Jackie Cabrera in the Bachelor's of Business Management program. And she asks, and this is taking you guys back to when you were students, do you have any regrets from when you were a student?
I do. Not asking enough questions, not taking advantage of the resources that were available to me, not taking advantage of, this is an investment. And, you have instructors, directors, people that are here to help you. They're knowledgeable, they're experts in their field. And when I was in college, I regret not picking their brain a little bit more and networking with them, just because I was, shy, and I was very timid, and what am I going to talk to them about? So that's probably one regret that I have as a student, is not taking advantage of my resources as far as my instructor's knowledge and expertise.
So I can go next on this one. I also have a regret. I regret not advocating for myself. And so the example that I like to talk about is, I took this class and I had to miss the midterm exam for reasons I don't even remember, honestly. And I ended up doing poorly in the class. I ended up having to retake the class. But at some point near the end of the term, the professor came up to me and asked me, hey, what happened during midterms? Why didn't you take the midterm? And I let him know, well, I was just too shy too nervous to ask, hey, could I make up the midterm time? And he let me know, if you had just come up to me and asked for help, I would have worked with you. I would have let you take the midterm at a later time. And so I regret not advocating for myself. And you guys would be surprised at the number of instances where if you ask for help, the help is available. we can't help in every instance, but there's a lot of situations where you might not think that help is available, but it is. So one of the takeaways that I like to give to my students is be your own advocate. Advocate for yourself. If you need help with something, don't be scared to ask. So that was my regret, is not asking for help when I should have.
I'm gonna go ahead and say a little bit. Mine's gonna be pretty short, but it's learning how to be a student a lot earlier in my career. So I always talk to students when I talk to you guys in JC, I talk to you in college studies, and I let you know, hey, you know what? You are coming to school not only to do your coursework and to learn something new, but you are learning how to be a student. You are learning how to study. You are learning time management. So I think that if I would have learned that a little bit earlier on, I wouldn't have made the mistakes that I did. Luckily, I was able to do fairly well, towards the still within my degree, but learning how to be a student early on is, I think, an amazing thing, and just learning how well or how you study is the pinnacle of education. I mean, that's the silver bullet. So, thank you.
I don't think I have any regrets. I just think you have to prioritize your things. So your school, your family, whatever you need to do, and so I can't think of any regrets now.
In my case, I think I could have definitely be more participate in a lot more events that the school had to offer. There's so many things that my school had going on, just like this one. They make it a lot more fun. Not only just for mental health reasons, but you also get to network with a lot of people. And I think I could have done a lot more than that. I know that we sometimes forget that we're here and we have other priorities in life, but just the fact that we're here, I think we have to also take in consideration that it's also the time and effort of others that are providing us with this type of events. And they're a lot more fun, and you get to meet individuals that maybe are either in your same career field, and that networking can take you into different places. So just taking advantage, like Ms. Lazarin said, of the resources, which would include also the events that the school organizes. I think that's definitely something that I liked, and I wish if I went back, we can do more of that.
I just want to add that one of my regrets, and actually, like Dr. Fernandez said, he's not a regret, but I just have a couple of hours on my master's, and I thought, finishing my bachelor's was enough. But honestly, and unfortunately, right now, how things are going in this world, you need to continue studying. So that I think that will be kind of going together with the next question. My advice is just keep going. Don't look for something else. If you're doing your associates, complete your bachelor's. If you can, go for your master's, continue with your PhD. You have a lot of time, and maybe, yes, we have situations in our life that interfere with our dreams, but that's okay. If you cannot do it right now, that's fine. Continue. Don't just stay there.
All right, so that's great advice for students, at least, to build off of. Always kind of asking people who've been in your shoes, what they would recommend, and so it's worth listening and taking the regrets that some of your program directors and instructors might have, and making sure you're not committing the same mistakes. I know Ms. Ruiz alluded to the next question. I did change the question order a little bit. So the next question is going to be submitted by Mr. Samuel Mercado from the Associates Computer Information Technology program. He asks, while you were a student, which subject did you find most difficult?
I can go. I found English most difficult. I loved math, and I tend to see that anyone who loves math, they don't like English. Those that like English do not like math. But nonetheless, I had to do it. I still had to apply myself. I may have struggled a little bit more than my classmates, but I did not let that stop me from passing and doing well in my coursework.
My class that I struggled with was IT, actually, computer programming. That was a pain in the neck. It was really hard for me. I had to spend a lot of extra hours getting through that class.
I can go next. So I struggled with a political science class. And the reason I struggled is because we had a quiz every day of class. And even if you read the book backwards and forwards and you studied all your lecture notes, the quizzes had nothing to do with any of that. The professor just expected us to have accidentally read whatever his favorite news article was at the time, and the quizzes were always based on that. So maybe I could have been better at reading his mind and predicting what kind of news articles he wanted us to read. So that class was really hard. It kind of tested your patience. It tested a lot of things except for what we were supposed to be learning. So it was an interesting class, to say the least. That was a class I struggled with.
I struggled with a philosophy class, and the reason for that is that I made the mistake of having that class the earliest that you can have it. I think it was like an 8 a.m. class, and it was for 4 hours. So it was kind of difficult to just wake up and then start talking about Plato for 4 hours. Especially the instructor was pretty monotonous, so every time that he spoke, I had to make sure that I didn't fall asleep, because I also made the wrong decision of being in the first row of that class. So that was difficult to swallow, to say the least.
For me specifically, it was biochem. So it was biochemistry. So for me, most subjects have really, come very, very easily. I'm able to, study and not have to dwell on it too much. But this one was one where I tried a lot. I had to put in a lot of hours, to understand concepts, to continue to do it. And since, we are in the healthcare field, it was one of the most important classes that I was going to take. So one, the hype was really, really crazy with that class. So that didn't help. And then also I really, really had to apply myself. So that was a little bit of my struggle, but I was able to get through the other side.
For me, of course, it was English. And it's just, I think it's mainly because I was coming from Juarez, from Mexico, and Spanish is my first language. So for us, for international students, it's kind of hard to think the way English speakers think. We always think in Spanish first, and then we try to translate. So we had to actually learn how to change that little, thing in your brain. But English it was for me, it was very complicated, especially writing.
All right, thank you guys so much for your answers. It just makes me want to give you guys all homework in these subjects that you struggle with. But as you guys, for the students at least, that's a great question, because it shows the students, that you guys used to be in their position, and you guys are going through the same struggles that they've gone through and experiencing the same things that they experience. So, if there's any students out there that are struggling with the subject, struggling with the class, reach out to your program directors, reach out to your instructors, because it's likely they've been in similar situations as you all have been in. So the next question is submitted by Ms. Ana Dimas from the Associates Medical Coding and Billing program. And so she asks, how did you end up in this position? So what led you guys to the position as program directors?
Well, I started as an instructor, actually as a substitute teacher. And then the next term I got offered an instructor position. And then after 2 years of teaching, I was asked if I could join the directors group to be the MA or evening director, which I agreed, and I'm really happy I did.
I was working for a nonprofit organization at the time, and there was a situation where they had lack of funding. So they told us like 3-4 months in advance that they were going to close the program, obviously they would have to let us go. I was lucky enough at that time that they still retained me, and I actually got a better position than the previous one. But then I had already submitted all of my all the resumes to a lot of different places, including Southwestern University. So what happened was that they called me and said, you know, we have a position available for you, or are you interested? And even though I've already been there for only 2 months on the new position, I said, look, it's just an interview. It won't hurt. So when I got here and I started talking to people, just coming to the front, I fell in love with the organization and the culture. And then I had the opportunity to talk to Arturo, our HR director, and then I passed that interview, and I got the honor of speaking with Ms. Arriola, and which I fell in love instantly with her motivation, and pretty much that was it. So just to remind everyone, to never say no to an opportunity that could actually open some doors. So even though I was already hired in a different place and I had a better opportunity than the previous one, it didn't hurt me from just checking it out, I guess. So also, I feel that I'm probably one of the luckiest ones in here, because I'm the only director that did not have previous experience as an instructor here. So definitely consider myself the luckiest one here.
I can go next. So I started here as an instructor, as I probably mentioned before. And so I do have a master's in computer science that I completed in December of 2018. And little did I know that around that time, there was plans to open up IT programs here at Southwest University. So sometime early in 2019, I was approached. I guess, you know, the timing just worked out that the planning was starting, and I had also finished my master's degree, and the timing just lined up such that I seemed like the perfect fit for that. And as I mentioned, I had already been teaching here for 3 years. I would like to think that I made a good impression in that time. So I think things just lined up perfectly so that I could end up as the program director for the 2 IT programs that we have here.
I can go ahead and go next. So I won't tell my story again. I know I had mentioned that I was an instructor here and I took opportunity, but nonetheless, you know, it was wanting more for myself. That's what led me to this position. Even though I wasn't familiar with the other industries, I knew I wanted to keep growing. And, you know, I put myself through school to get my master's degree so that way I can, you know, have a position like this. So at the end of it all, you know, just wanting more for myself, regardless if I was not familiar with the industry or not. And then again, it led me to a place that I love, and I hope to not go anywhere after this.
So from
Sorry. I'm the new member of the directors group, and like everybody's saying, it's just an opportunity, and I was very honored to be considered to be one of the directors. It's been awesome for me, and I've learning a lot, and I think this position is why not take it, and especially so I can give a little bit more to my students.
So with me, I was an instructor for 3 years here at Southwest, and I started as actually a part-time instructor. Then after that, I was then asked to be a full-time instructor. Then after that, to be a program director for the medical assistant program, and that's what it is. So so we continue doing a good job, and we continue being here, and we love it, and we love our students.
Awesome. And I think to kind of mirror a lot of what the directors were saying, it was an opportunity that presented itself, and they didn't say no to that opportunity. And so that's something that we like to stress with the students is, I think a couple of directors mentioned they started as part-time instructors. Even myself, I started part-time as an instructor. And so we said yes to those opportunities, and by working hard and preparing, and these other opportunities presented themselves, and we just faced them head on, and so that's kind of what the advice we like to give to students is, don't say no to an opportunity, regardless if you think the job's beneath you or it's not paying enough. It's that first step towards that dream job that you want. And I think I can say with confidence that, myself and the rest of the program directors, we have all found our dream jobs in these positions helping students. On the next question, so this is to kind of humanize you guys a little bit. Oftentimes when students think of program directors, they get kind of intimidated, or they get scared, or I don't want to talk to them, or they think you guys are just here to get them in trouble. But your program directors are just people like the students are. And so this question is submitted by Ms. Cynthia Puertas in the Associates Medical Coding and Billing program. And so what she's asking is, what are your hobbies? So while you guys aren't program directing, what do you like to do in your free time?
I enjoy sports a lot, so I currently cycle a lot, mountain and road. I also play racquetball and snowboard in the winter season. Those are my hobbies.
In my case, I really love to spend time with family and friends. That's definitely something I love. A little carnita asada can hurt anybody. And then I also like to do sports myself, so I play soccer and hockey as well.
I can go next. Well, in my younger years, I used to dance, studio dance, and I used to work at a dance studio part-time, and that was technically like my hobby. And then I would choreograph quinceañeras and sweet 16s. So almost every single weekend I had an event, so that was awesome. But then I got a little older and I couldn't do the things that I used to do. So that was, short-lived. And then I recently became a mom. He's 2 now. I still say recently because I'm still learning. So he has now become my hobby, finding creative ways to keep him entertained, chasing him around just to change his diaper. And when he allows me to, I love to garden. It's become very expensive for me because I'm not good at it. I love it, just not good at it. And so I'm learning, and believe it or not, I haven't been able to garden this year, but some of my plants that were supposed to die last year, which did die, have come back this year. So kudos to me, because I did something to get I talked to them every day, every night, and sure enough, they came back.
I like to swim a lot. Believe it or not, I won a championship in Chihuahua, Mexico, for the swimming team. The Tecnológico de Monterrey. It's a very well-known school in Mexico. So I was a champion. I won the championship in swimming. Of course, I gained some pounds, but still, I still love it. I go to the Y at least every Saturday when it was closed, of course not. But now that it's open again, I go to the Y every Saturday, and that for me it's very, very relaxing. So I love this.
So for me specifically, I like to spend time with friends and family, and then also I like woodworking. I usually take on a project, and it does take me some time, between work and family and everything that we have to do. But it is something that I definitely enjoy. I enjoy working with my hands. Any project, I'll just look at YouTube and and use my prior knowledge and just get it done. So woodworking is one of those wonderful things. Building tables, building chairs. Those are things that I really enjoy, and I can't wait to involve my son in those projects, because I think they're gonna that's gonna be just that much more amazing. So those are things that I do, and I do like to mountain bike. I haven't been able to do that as often as I used to before, but it's something that I like. So those are my 3 things.
So my hobbies right now, it's mainly reading and playing video games. And I kind of was just thinking about this when Dr. Ramos said that he wants to give us homework in the areas that we struggled in. I kind of just realized that the last couple of books that I read were all based on political science. So I actually have a book right here that I'm reading right now, and it's actually about politics. So maybe I'm subconsciously trying to make up for what I didn't learn in college. So I used to read a lot more than I do now. And I'm trying to get back to reading at least one book a month. And I also usually get asked what kind of video games I like. So I like RPGs. I like games that have a story to them. So I like experiencing stories through books and also through video games.
All right, that's a good range of hobbies. So for any students that are out there, if you're a good gardener, I'm sure Ms. Lazarine would appreciate any advice you can offer her. And I would consider it a favor if you went every once in a while to check on Mr. Rodriguez to make sure he still has all 10 fingers with his woodworking. And if you ever need a good book recommendation, Mr. Mayorga always gives great recommendations. So if you're looking for something to read, feel free to reach out to him about that. All right, so as we go on to the final question, this one was submitted by Maricela Cadena in the Associates HA program, Associates Health Administration. And so this will be the final question. And so we'll kind of wrap up with everybody giving, what advice would you give to the students right now? So what's the advice you would give to your students?
So yes, as it was mentioned previously, for all the students, don't settle, okay? Keep moving forward and try your best at whatever you do, okay? Whatever it is you do your best.
I would say to have fun and, you're paying for a tuition, so take advantage of all the opportunities that you have. So use all of the resources that are provided. But most importantly, not only here, but outside in the business world and the real world and anywhere and anything that you do, to make sure that you can communicate with others. We as directors can facilitate and provide you a lot more assistance when the students come forward to us and they communicate whatever it is that they're going through that maybe they're having some difficulties in their classes. For the most part, whenever they do it on time, we can definitely do a lot more otherwise. So communicate, and take care and take advantage of everything that's provided to you by not only your instructors, but also by the school as well.
And mine will go back to the regret that I had as a student. So my advice to you is to ask questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. You are here to learn. Take advantage of your resources, take advantage of your instructors, take advantage of the directors, whether it's your direct program or not. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And right now is the time whether you're starting or already at the tail end of your degree, start thinking about what you really want to do after you graduate. Oftentimes we think, okay, that's not for another month, that's not for another 2 months. And then come that other 2 months and you realize like, holy moly, I need to figure out what I want to do. So, start putting that resume together, focus on those classes, start taking down notes. I mean, you might actually be exposed to a class that interests you and that may even change your career field. But nonetheless, start talking to the job placement department. If you do not know who they are, we can, send us an email. We can direct you to them to see what opportunities are out there and what do you need to start doing now to make sure you land either those top tier externship sites or job leads. And then also to ask your teachers, they are experts in the field. They've gone through it as well. What did they do to get to where they're at right now? How did they apply themselves to pass these certifications? What advice can they? Oftentimes we just go and we limit ourselves to just our class time and the coursework, chapter 1, chapter 2, quiz 1, quiz 2, and that's it. And we don't take advantage of having them available to us. So that would be my advice, is just ask questions, network, start applying yourself now.
I can go next. So My advice is very similar to Miss Lazarin's advice, but I also want to go back to what my regret was when I was in college. So again, just be your own advocate. I feel like that's one of the best pieces of advice, especially if you're shy like I was in college. Just be your own advocate. And also to kind of to go off of some of the things that Miss Lazarin pointed out. So don't forget that your instructors are experts in the field and they probably know other people in the field. So your instructor may not be able to hire you, but they probably know people that could hire you. They can write letters of recommendation. They can connect you with other people in the field. And so the way that you foster those relationships with your instructors is by being a good student. Believe it or not, the best way to make a good impression as a student is to be a good student. And this is one point that I found some students are a little bit confused about. Let's say I have two students, one student who is really shy, really quiet, but they do all their work, they do outstanding academically. And then I have another student that doesn't do their work, they come to class late, but they're very friendly, they give gifts to everyone, they make jokes. And for some reason, a lot of students don't understand that the one that's quiet and shy but does their work really well is the one that I'm going to remember, the one that I'm going to write letters of recommendation for. I would hesitate to write a letter of recommendation for the one that was late to class, never did their work, but they were friendly, social, they made jokes. That's not what you're here for. You know, there's a time and place for that, and school is not the time and place to bring that out. So you want to be a good student, do your work, you know, turn in assignments at time, participate in class, whatever you think the ideal is of a student, be that. Those are the students that stand out to us. Those are the ones that we are able to help more easily because we can write you those letters of recommendation. We can introduce you to other industry professionals. You know, those are the ones that it's easier to help you if you help us in that way. So try to be that student. So that's my advice.
I would like just to add that strive for excellence, and please remember that we have an open door policy here with the directors at the director's office. Anything that you need, please feel free to come. That's why we're here, to help you as much as we can.
So I always tell my students, and my recommendation is you have, you know, for the MA courses, we have 50 minutes in most classes, and then, you know, we'll have an hour and 40 minutes in some other classes. But for the classes, I tell them you got 50 minutes to be great, 50 minutes to show your excellence. And that's just the one thing that I could tell you is just take that day by day, take it even minute by minute, and you have 50 minutes to just be great. So, you know, always strive for the best. You know, kind of going back to what I said as well is learn how to be a student, learn how to be your best student and how you best learn. And one day you might be the person that people ask for advice. So that would be that.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. That's great advice for students, and I would implore the students to take it to heart. You know, these are people who have been students before. They worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of students in the past in their careers as both, you know, instructors and program directors. They work with people that hire the students, so they know what those people are looking for. So, you know, please, you know, pay attention to their advice and don't hesitate to reach out to them, go and visit them and get more advice. For people who don't know, the program director's office is in the main building. So if you're looking at the front desk, to the left, there's that little hallway that goes to the street outside. Their office is that door that's right there. Ms. Reese mentioned it's an open door policy. So, you know, please make sure to go by and visit, talk to them, pick their brains, and get that advice from them. But I want to thank you all for taking the time to speak with the students, to answer these questions, for, you know, just, you know, taking the time and showing that support for the students. I did want to ask for each of you guys just to say your name again, what program you're program director for, and if you can provide also the best method for students to contact you, so that way if they do have additional questions, they know how to reach out to you. So if you guys can just go ahead and do that one by one, please.
Again, my name is Roshan Aki, College of Business Director.
And the best way to contact.
Sorry, probably the best way to contact me is through my email, jnakid@southwestuniversity.edu. And we can definitely, if you prefer to either meet in person or over the phone, just let me know and we'll definitely do that for you. Thank you.
And I am Laura Lasarin. I'm the Program Director for Health Administration and Medical Coding and Billing. And the best way to reach me will be email as well, lasarin@southwestuniversity.edu. For those of you using Outlook in your school email, you can just type in my name, Laura Lasarin, and I should pop up in your directory.
And I'm Jorge Fernandez. I'm the evening director. So you can contact me here on the main building in the evenings or through email, jfernandez@southwestuniversity.edu, or you can always call the university 915-778-4001, and they'll transfer me for whatever I am.
Again, my name is Aurora Ruiz and I'm the MLT Program Director. You can look for my email. It's aruiz@southwestuniversity.edu, and we're going to be waiting for you.
My name is Manny Mayorga. I'm the Program Director for the Web and Mobile Marketing Development Program, as well as the Computer Information Technology Systems Program. And the best way to get in contact with me is through email. So that's emayorga@southwestuniversity.edu. Or you can also call the front desk at 915-778-4001 and ask to be transferred to me.
So my name is Ruben Rodriguez. I am the Program Director for Medical Assisting. The best way to get in contact with me is going to be three things. All right. So it's going to be via email. That's rrodriguez@southwestuniversity.edu. Also, telephone number 915-778-4001, and just ask for Ruben Rodriguez. There are two other Rubens, so make sure you use my last name. And then the final one is through Teams. So as you go through your college studies curriculum, you'll learn what Teams is. It's a chat system that we use, and you're able to contact each one of us through Teams as well. And I do answer fairly quickly, so just let me know what you need and I'll be there. Thanks.
All right. Thank you guys again so much for your time and your feedback and the information. And again, for the students, take advantage of these amazing resources you have. Reach out to them, talk to them, pick their brains. And so that's the end of this presentation. We have future SU Teaches SU presentations coming up, so just keep an eye on SU Learning for those announcements. And if you want to watch this recording or previous presentations, they're hosted on our SU Learning Support Students tutorial channel. There's an SU Teaches SU playlist there, so you can kind of watch all the presentations that we've had so far. But thank you guys all again, and we'll see everybody next time. All right, everybody have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.